So out at the farm, while we're building the road, we need to put in some posts and a gate to keep people out of there, because in the country people like to come in on your roads when you build them. They want to hunt on your land. And so we got this county line post hole digger that we're going to put together, hook on my tractor. Jeff Seals, thank Jeff. Jeff paid for it. We got some work to do out on his farm too, coming up on a future episode. But there you go, there's the pieces. One irritating thing we did find out, thanks for Jeff for asking us to check, it does come empty. You got to put fluid in it, and it doesn't come with the fluid, so we'll have to stop by and pick up some fluid tomorrow on the way out to the farm. But yeah, we'll get this knocked out and put together, and you guys can check it out. All right. Welcome to my life. All right, so we made it out here. We got to put the gear oil, the rest of the gear oil in the crank here on the thing, and then we'll get started. We'll dig a couple holes. We're probably going to clear this tree back here. You can see what I kind of did. I put a road end up here, But I didn't put it in at the bottom because I didn't want people driving up my road. And so got that gate. So I'll get this trimmed up and this side trimmed up. We'll put the posts in, and then put the gate up. And then I'll come back and bring this road on down here. And of course then I'll come back and put gravel in it. But that's kind of where we're at today. So let's get going. So we made it to the top of the hill. We got our road cleared down there. I had most of this cleared with the excavator, but we got to trim this up and get rid of this so that it's not scratching the truck on the way through. So that's where we're at. We'll get this done, and then we'll start digging some post holes. All right, so basically what we got to do now, we're going to put the fence in. We're going to put the post holes 3 foot deep, so that's about there on the auger. I got them marked on my poles, and then we'll level them. I got the new expanding foam to set them instead of concrete because I don't have water out here. And then we'll have 5 foot above, which will allow us then to establish where the bottom of our fence needs to be. We'll mark that, do a plumb bob on that pole, even though it's supposed to be level, do a plumb bob to make sure we got the 2 hinges in line. And then we'll screw the hinges in, we'll drill them out, screw the hinges in, and then mount the gate on there. Battery's about to die, so you'll get what you get. And we're gonna go at it. That's probably right. maximum 4,500, right? 450. Stuck on something. Alright, so far we've done pretty good. We do notice the problem with the post hole digger in Kentucky is there's a solid rock down there. We didn't quite get to 36 inches, we're around 32, 34. But we're going to call that good because there's a big rock in the bottom. It's flat, it's huge. We hit it over there too first, but this is a little deeper. So we're going to go with this hole, put our post in, and then use that new foam stuff to set her once we get her leveled. And we're going to call that one good. Then we'll run across the other side and figure out where our other post needs to go and hope that we don't hit rock. But we probably will. There's rock everywhere. All right, check back with you in a bit. What we'll do is we'll do this one and do a bag, and then we'll come back and put half and half on top and then come all the way to the top. So we need to figure out our other side and get that going. All right, so we got to the post in with the foam. They're going. We like this foam pretty good. We held it, leveled it out, and probably about, I don't know, 20 seconds to a minute, he was letting go of the post, and so it's holding steady. We're going to do about another half bag. I'll show you what we used. We used this Pro Select fence post mix. Whoop, there you go. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. And it worked pretty good. We liked it. You just kind of push the stuff in. The center of the pouch and then mix it for 15 seconds. You'll feel it get hot and you pour it in. So we're going to do that and put the other half in each of the posts and go from there. The post hole digger, well, we like it because we hand dug a post before we got this. Thanks Jeff Sills for purchasing this for his farm. That allows us to use it. Of course, my tractor will be using it on his farm later to put a bunch of fence in, but that's okay. But it sure don't like Kentucky rock. It gets through a rock and it stops. And it pulled out quite a bit. You can see a pile here. It pulls out those little ones, but there's some big rocks here in Kentucky underneath the surface. And when it hits one of those, you're back to using the shovel in your hand. But we didn't get them quite 36 inches, but we're close, and that's good enough. And they're sitting on solid bedrock. So we're not going any deeper unless we came out with a jackhammer, and we're not doing that. So I think they're gonna be steady. We like the foam. They're in pretty deep. I think it's going to do what we need it to do, which is basically just stop hunters from driving up my yard. So I think it's looking good. We're getting there. We're going to mount that fence here in a second and go from there. But we'll get this bag of foam done first, and I'll play a little speed clip of the foam rising. So basically you take the bag and you just roll it until it pops, and then mix it for 15 seconds, back and forth. And you'll feel it start getting hot. It gets hot, or it starts reacting. It's just like the spray foam, I assume, that goes in your house. I mean, it's the same kind of thing, except for this probably a little less foamy and a little more harder, if that's a word, a little less foamy. All right. I think that's good. No, shoot. All right, let's go put the other bag in there. Really, it's the backside here that didn't get a lot. Woo, it's getting hot. Man, when it reacts, it gets warm. We may end up putting another bag at that. We'll see how much that rises. Maybe that'll fill it out. All right. Really impressed with this stuff, though. Especially out here in the country where you don't have any water. So we would have had to try to get water somewhere and try to mix the concrete. Then we'd have needed a generator to run the mixer, or we'd be mixing it by hand. So this is a sweet gig. All right, on to the next. Yep. Yep, so now we're putting the hinges on. Job ever supervising. I think I'm gonna do this more often. Bottom one's already on there. You see that foam came right up to the top too. It's pretty solid already. You can't move that foam. So, that's gonna work. before I go crazy. You make it? So some things we noticed about this, you know, I'm running this on a John Deere 3120R, and when we have to have this in the highest position to get any kind of clearance underneath the auger. So I guess I could take the auger off every time that I travel with it, which is a pain in the butt. It's 2 shear bolts. You have to take on and off. But when I have it in its highest position that I can put it in, she comes up and then rubs on my catch for my top bar. And so it can't go any higher than that. So it's rubbing here. We did take the handle off because the handle got caught. When we were putting the auger all the way down, and it was about here on the auger, we were trying to get that last little bit, and the handle that comes from here then was rubbing against this, which then was making the auger tilt back towards the trailer, so it wasn't giving us a straight drive on the auger, and I didn't really like that much. I don't know what the answer is. Maybe some of you smart guys out there can let me know what I'm doing wrong. But those are my main issues. Now I could unbolt this plate and take it off, but that's ridiculous to run that. I guess if I'm doing a whole bunch of it, I guess I would do that. But those are my 2 biggest complaints. I think that's with any of them though. I can tell you this, the thickness of this and the way it handled was pretty good. Once it gets to a big rock though, it just can't go any further, which is expected, right? There's instructions in there if your shaft is gets too close, then you have to trim this, but for us on this 3120, it's nowhere near close. It stays almost extended the entire time, so we don't have to trim ours. So that worked out pretty well. Other than that, I think it's golden. So there's my thoughts on that. We did get the fence in. I love that new expanding foam. That worked great. Those posts are solid. We have the gate on. We have it locked in, and that's going to give me some good clearance for the dump truck to get through there. And now I'll be able to finish this road. I left this grown in and didn't finish this part of the road intentionally, or I haven't started clearing it intentionally and leveling it because I didn't want hunters to come up my road into my farm until I got this gate on. So now with my son-in-law coming in town and helping me do this, now I can start grading this out, which I'll work on in the future, and then I'll get some riprap down and then some crush and run on top of that, and then I'll continue the road up through the farm. And then that'll allow me to come in on a rainy day. So if it rains or the day after it rains, I can't get on my farm right now. It's just so muddy. But getting that in will allow me to get back there and shoot on rainy days, because right now I can't get back there and shoot on a rainy day. So there you have it. We're going to run around on the farm, I think, a little bit, get these tools put away, and then and go check out the farm. See you guys. First time opening the gate. Driving there. Oh, that tree worked out great. Yep. Y'all help me out and like and subscribe to my channel, Shots Life, on YouTube.